Cheers and welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. Yes, this is about 4 home brewing items or pieces of equipment you never knew you needed until you bought them. And then you were like, oh my God, I love this thing. This is also, since it's the holidays, something that people can use to give as a gift to somebody they know that home brews. There is a little catch here. All of these items are for people who keg. So if they're doing things with kegging, these are the gifts. Now, if they're just getting into kegging, these are definitely the gifts. And these are items that when I first purchased them, I really didn't think I'd use them very much. And now I use the living, excuse my language, hell out of them. Some of them I use multiple times a week. Yeah, multiple times a week. I do a lot of brewing, but still multiple times a week. So I'm gonna jump right into this and show you right away. Now, first of all, these are things you never knew you needed. This is not something like a tap cooler, bottle filler. If you're kegging, you know you needed something like that so you can fill the bottles and give them out. This isn't something you can make yourself like the jumper that I did here where I go from pressure fermenter to keg, but I do use one of the tools on this a lot, and I mean a lot. So let's jump right into it. Okay, 3 of the items are from one inventor. That's right, 3 of the items I'm gonna cover are from one single inventor out of California. His name's Trong. You may know him. If not, hey, you'll get to know him if you're getting into home brewing. So I'm gonna go into the first item that he doesn't make, and then we'll go into all the other items, okay? And I bought a second pair of these. Yeah, I use them so often, I have 4 of them now. Not because I need 4, I can only use 2 at a time usually, but I have a habit of losing things or misplacing them. I'll say misplacing, because I eventually find them. They're called ball lock jumpers. And I know, you're looking at that going, why would I ever need a ball lock jumper? And like I said, you usually buy them in pairs. Yes, I will leave links. They may or may not all be affiliate, but I'll give you some Amazon links, make it convenient. But these ball lock jumpers, I use constantly. I keep them right by the sink. Why, you're thinking? Well, something like this. I have a jumper, right? I can put one on one end, one on the other end. I can run Star San and water through it and just kind of rinse it before I move another keg. Super convenient. I want to clean out just a ball lock, you know, just disconnect. Just want to rinse it. I don't want to do anything major. I just want to clean it out real quick. I'm not trying to take it apart and do a massive cleaning because I pulled it off of one Pilsner and I'm putting it on another one. And yeah, I just want to use it right quick. Now, of course, I do recommend taking these things apart from time to time and clean them really good. But in between 2 beers, if they're the same style, same basics, it's all good. These things will save your butt and save you a ton of time and your fingertips. If you've been shoving your fingertip in there trying to hold that little pin down, don't do that. And don't shove like metallic objects in there. You're gonna damage something. These things are inexpensive and they work and they're heavy stainless steel. Yeah, good self-defense. You can just throw them at somebody, you know what I'm saying? Okay, let's go right into it. Okay, this first item I now have it in every fermenter that's pressure fermentation and every keg. And understand I can do 16 kegs plus 2 fermenters. So yeah, that means I have 18 of these bad boys and I'm constantly moving through them, constantly cleaning them. I need to get a few spares, but it's the FLOTit 2.X because he's constantly adding little improvements, but it is a floating dip tube. And if you really don't think you need a floating dip tube, wait until you try to do a fruit beer. And I know someone, oh, I'm not doing a fruit beer. But one of your best friends is like, oh my God, I'd love it if you do like a raspberry saison. You're like, damn. Yeah, good luck getting all that beer out of there. This will save your butt, guaranteed. I even made a mistake and used an older type floating dip tube with some blackberries. And I just couldn't, and finally I had to open everything up, exposing it to oxygen, I know. Put one of these bad boys in, purged everything. I got almost every drop of that beer out. It's called a FLOTit 2.X, say 2.1, 2.0, whatever you want to call it. These work in your kegs. They work in your pressure fermenters. They work in, if you're going to do an igulu, people are using them in igulus with shorter hoses so they can get all the beer out of the bottom because that straw doesn't go all the way to the bottom. These things are so versatile. And if double filtered, they're small. There is another one called something about draft, but it's very big. It's nice and it's expensive. This is like almost half the price. And it's much smaller. It works for everything. So yeah, this hands down is probably the best possible gift. You buy somebody one of these and they start getting into a lot more kegs. The next year, they're gonna be like, man, I had to buy 5 more of these or 6 more of these. these things are awesome. I mean, yeah. Best floating dip tube out there. And I know some people are like, oh, I don't need a floating dip tube. Yes, you do. You just don't know it yet. I promise you. Next item. And this comes in multiple configurations with different type of disconnects, ball lock disconnects. It is the picnic tap. And I know you're all thinking, and I'm afraid of twisting that because I just grabbed it from the sink. It may have some beer in here. I may have used it for sampling, but it twists on, twists off. You twist it all the way on. It's got a little spiral inside, and that spiral helps to slow the beer down so it doesn't come spraying out. That way, you know, if your beer is a little on the high, now if it's overcarbonated, it's overcarbonated, but it's a little on, you don't need this mile-long tube with a cheap picnic tap. And if you've ever had one of those plastic picnic taps, yeah, this is a little easier to clean. You take those, they have those rubber things inside of them, and ooh, yeah, they start to smell. I just throw those away. They're like disposable, they're nasty. I don't even use them anymore. And I will tell you the problem with buying a picnic tap, 2.x, like I said, you're gonna get lazy. I have at least 3 or 4 beers in my kegerators, or keezer or kegerator, based on which one you're looking at, with these on them because I was too lazy to hook them up to the tap because I just want to try the beer right away. I just pop, bam, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, this will make you lazy. This thing is awesome though. Taking a keg with you somewhere, pop that on there. You don't need to run a bunch of hose. You don't need all this other garbage. Yeah, this thing is awesome. Last item, ready? Last item. And it has changed a little. This is the original spunding valve. Yeah, it's very heavy. It's got the stainless. It's got all kinds of cool attachments. I don't remember what they're for because I didn't need them. But this is the new Jellyfish. It is probably the best spunding valve on the market by a mile. It's got cool indicators so you can tell exactly how much pressure you're applying or not applying. You can see it up here on the gauge. You can put water in here or a little bit of Star Sand or whatever so you can see the bubbles. That way you know it's still fermenting. And when the bubbles slow down, doesn't mean it's done, but it's a good sign. It's a good sign. Snaps right onto your ball lock. Yeah, the new Jellyfish. It is an amazing spunding valve, and it's kind of like the whole new technology in spunding valves. So it's 4 items. You got the, like I said, I lose them all the time. Almost dropped one. The jumpers, the FLOTit, floating dip tube, as I'm chasing the damn jumpers all over my metal table. I'm missing something. Oh, picnic tap. And the Jellyfish. And those last 3 items were all invented by one man, Trong, out of California. Huge home brewer, inventor, / home brewer and inventor. But yeah, cheers. I appreciate you. Have a great holiday. Here's to all the home brewers in your life that are sharing their beer with you. And if it's not really good yet, don't worry. Give them time. It's a process. They get really good. That beer will be better than the stuff you're getting at the local brewery. Cheers.